One thing which is becoming more prominent in gaming is the need to refund digital downloads of games. This has become a big issue as more and more unfinished games are released to the world without ensuring that they're actually stable and suitable for customers. Playing in the background is Elder Scrolls Online, purely because it's a game that I'm playing at the moment and it bears no relevance to the point of discussion. It's just something to distract your eyes. The reason I'm discussing this topic is because I recently bought a game called One Sole Purpose with the intention of doing a full review of it, chosen because it looked like a very smart FPS from an indie developer. It did look quite generic, but very colourful, and it's been a little while since I've played a good sci-fi shooter. However, when I actually got round to booting it up and getting down to playing it, I found that it wouldn't load. So naturally the next step is a quick stop off on the Steam community page to find the solution to the problem, only to find that the main discussion point is the fact that the game is incomplete and the developer has actually removed it from Steam with the intention of releasing it later in the year. Which led me to think, well, there's no point in keeping if it isn't actually going to work for the next 6 months, and potentially not even going to get finished anyway. That sounds like a worse deal than early access, so I got it refunded. But had I not decided to play it for another couple of days, the rule system set up by Steam could technically reject my refund on the basis that my 14-day period was up, which seems entirely unfair. If a game is considered to be so broken that it gets removed from Steam, there should really be a warning system saying that there are major issues with it and it's worth trying it now to see if you want to get a refund. Fortunately, on this occasion I arrived in time to get my unquestioned refund, and it was accepted within around 1 hour of submitting it, which is pretty good. So far I've refunded 2 games, the other being The Deadly Tower of Monsters, which at the time ran at about 10 FPS on my laptop, so the system seems to be working pretty well. The situation did get me thinking about what the various digital stores have set up in terms of refunds. I would hope that it's something I never need to know, but given the state some games seem to get released in these days, it could become a critical issue. First, it seems logical to have a look at what Steam actually offers in terms of refunds. This has actually been in place for a little while now, starting out in June 2015, and has 2 main criteria to get your refund. You need to ask within 14 days of purchase and can't play the game for more than 2 hours. There is a hint that you might get refunds outside of those, but there's no guarantees. Steam's refund policy is one of the most detailed as it covers many different aspects of purchases such as DLC, in-game items and wallet refunds, etc. Some of which you can still refund and others which they say they can't because it's a one-time purchase. The one that amused me slightly is that if you get VAC banned, you can't ask for a refund. Next up we'll have a look at GOG's refund policy, as it's another one which actually has some backbone to it. So they will refund within 30 days of purchase with no gameplay limit, but it is limited to technical issues or game-breaking bugs in games. The criteria on this one stipulates that you have to go through the support line and attempt to get your game working, and if they can't help you get it working, then you can have your refund. Which all seems fair and will probably cover you in most eventualities. However, it could get a little hazy if your computer has problems with drivers which are stopping the game from working, and it doesn't cover you from games which just turn out to be terrible. Most of the time this shouldn't be an issue as they're supposed to be selling good old games. Origin offers you the Great Game Guarantee, which I find funny purely because I frequently slam EA for producing mediocre games at best. This means that you can request a refund within 24 hours of first launching a game within the first 7 days of purchase. It counts from release day if you pre-purchase. This is a lot more similar to Steam's offer, probably because Valve copied it in the end, but it does give you a little more leeway in terms of how long you get to play the game, assuming you can spend those 24 hours cramming your game time in. The Humble store is in an awkward position as they sell keys for other websites, usually Steam, and therefore it's only possible to refund if you don't reveal the key on the page, but they do state they try their best to refund where possible. While it's not ideal, I understand the reasoning for this one. Blizzard is a funny one, as I couldn't seem to find any cut and dry refund policy. The best I could find was a post on the Overwatch forums saying that you could get a refund in the first 72 hours or before level 5. If this is true, it's somewhere in the middle of Steam and Origin, but given that they're not seemingly willing to put it on an official statement, it seems very dodgy. And last and least we have Uplay, my least favourite of all of the platforms for many reasons, and it seems I can add another reason to that list as their statement seems to read, "No refunds." Thanks Ubisoft. So that's a quick rundown of the big digital game retailers and what they offer or don't offer in terms of refunds. Useful to know if you're planning on purchasing games from them in the future, as this indicates some level of faith in what they sell, as well as giving you a bit of backup when the shit hits the fan. Each of the descriptions are my interpretation of what the respective sites say, and the clips are directly taken from the company's pages. Please see the source links in the description below. It's worth giving the read and understanding what you're getting yourself in for. My only experience so far is with getting Steam refunds, and I've had no issues with that. Fortunately, I haven't had to go through any of the other systems, but I'm sure the time will come eventually. What do you think about digital refunds as they are? Do you think they provide enough protection to customers, and have you ever had to refund anything with them? Let me know below, and thanks for listening.